Annabell is here, and she is the manager of Dog Store. And we're on the panel because your store carries 11 brands
yes.
of CBD. Tell us more about the Dog Store.
So we have a fairly small neighborhood store where we try and make sure that, you know, with this little space, we have 1,000 square feet of retail space, but I still try to make sure that we have every issue covered that somebody's going to be coming in for. And that includes, you know, a lot of different delivery methods of CBD, different ways that we can go ahead and help anxious pets, senior pets. We also have a daycare facility that we are connected to, owned by the same company. So we have a lot of dogs that come in and will either get anxious over boarding or holidays, and so people will come in looking for solutions, and it's been really great to be able to have different variety of options at different price points and different delivery methods to kind of cater to each different dog and pet parent's needs. Mm-hmm. I always want to make sure that there's going to be retailer support because that's been huge. If somebody's just going to come by once, say, oh, hey, you know, I've got this brand, here's a price list, drop it off and leave. One, that's not really going to be any good for anybody down the road. Third-party testing that's available, particularly to the consumers, is always going to be something that's huge. If you can say, you know, you can go on their website and check this lot number or this batch when you get home, you know, it's not something that we say on the retail side that it's just access that we have. It's something that they can go home and see as well. It's really reassuring to them to know that it's public knowledge, essentially. It's not some big secret that, you know, is some well-regarded thing. And making sure that there's science behind the innovation, not just, you know, somebody coming out with like, oh, this seems like it would be cool, but there's legitimate reasoning and science behind it, as opposed to just somebody thought, you know, I heard that CBD calms dogs down, so I baked it into a treat with green lip mussel, which we actually had somebody come in and tell us that they did that, and I was like, where's the analysis? Where's the, you know, at what point does CBD become ineffective in an oven? You know, what about this? And he was just like, I don't know. And I was like, great, thank you for your time. Goodbye. But being able to kind of have a little bit of transparency between the manufacturer to the consumer, and then having the education for the retailer to be able to explain to the consumer what benefits that individual product has been really key, so that I can talk to a pet parent and say, you know, what specific issues is your dog having, and point them to a particular product. Because we have so many different options, I can pinpoint, you know, you're either going to want to use this specific product if you have a picky dog, or, you know, if you've got a lab that's just going to eat everything, try this. And having, you know, having it narrowed down to those two options kind of thing, where they understand that we're taking the time to listen to them and address everything, has been a huge help. We have a ton of CBD customers that come in, and it's a very regular basis for us now, because a lot of them are dosing daily for older pets as well, or just general well-being, and they're seeing a huge difference. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily bring in an entire brand. When I find something that's going to work, I make sure that it's going to fit a problem that I know my consumers are going to have. I had a 16-year-old retriever personally, and he was getting CBD twice a day for his joints. And so I was doing a tincture because that was going to be the most economical. He was a 75-pound guy, so I'm not an idiot. It was going to get costly. But I've got a husky that won't take anything that she thinks is at all medicinal. So I had to find something that I could kind of trick her into eating that was more of a treat. And so that's kind of where it started to, I realized that I was going to have all of these different instances. And so I've got different brands for absolutely, it's different instances, different delivery methods. And so anywhere from honey with CBD to goat's milk with CBD, to soft chews, to hard chews, to the tinctures, to a paste that you can put in a Kong. It really just kind of depends on what your consumers are coming in for, and I try to avoid letting them just go to the cheapest option. What I do is make sure that I have a smaller option available. So like the Treatables has their intro pack, and we make sure that it's priced pretty reasonably. We don't make a whole lot of margin on it because we know they're gonna come back in once it works. So if somebody comes in and their dog is willing to take something that is a crunchy, looks like a treat, willing to eat it, that's what we suggest. Go ahead, give this a try, see if it helps with the trip to the vet, see if it helps, on your way to, going to grandma's house for a 2-hour drive. If it doesn't, and you're leaving the house and your dog goes crazy in the crate, go ahead and use one of the pastes or peanut butters in a Kong that they're already working on when you're out, and just see if that kind of takes the edge off. And people can kind of see that there's a reason for every single thing in there, and it's not every single thing from every single line, which I think is really important, because otherwise I would literally just have a bunch of CBD and Stella and Chewies. Like, that's all I would have.
Yeah, but no, I think that was super helpful, and so yeah, we'll continue the conversation tomorrow.